Diane, sorry, this is Pet. You have two classmates, Vidal, Petra and Diana, right? Say hello, Petra and Diana. This is Petra is my paisana, is my homie. Petra lives in Guerrero. Not in, well, she lives in Acapulco, so we live in the same place. We don't know each other, but we live here. And Diana lives in Colima. What about you, Vidal? Where are you from? Oh, Vidal is from Puebla. That's good. Puebla, Colima are beautiful places. Okay. Are you an English teacher, Vidal? Oh, you're originally from Veracruz. Ah, good, good. So you're an English teacher too. Good job. Okay. Well, the homework was very easy. The homework was about to answer some questions, and these questions you needed to answer them based on a little story, right? But one characteristic of the homework was that it had to be in past perfect, right? The homework had to be in past perfect. For example, just like a little reminder before we get going, for you to remember, past perfect is a structure that we use with had and the past participle of the verb. Mhm. The past participle of the verb. Okay? So it needs to be had, the auxiliary had, and the past participle. If it is a contraction, is apostrophe D, like would, and the past participle. Mhm. And we said that, who can help me? Diana or Petra. We said that we use this structure to talk about what? To talk about what? We use it to talk about what? What do we use it for? For negative, we use hadn't plus the past participle. Petra, Diana, this structure, what do we use it for? Yes, it's for actions, but it's not any action. What type of actions? Actions or events that what? Who remembers? Yes, it's in the past, but it's about something else besides the past. Who remembers? Yes, Vidal, excellent. You see, ladies, Vidal was not here the last class and he knows. This is very bad, ladies. Okay, yes, thank you, Vidal. So it's to talk about actions or events which happen before another action or event in the past. So these actions or events happened before another action or event in the past. So there was one activity or one event that happened in the past, and the past perfect happens before that one that already happened in the past, right? Yeah, before something else, but before something else in the past, right? Before something else in the past. The microphones are open. Vidal, where you see my picture, under my picture, you have the little icon for the microphone and the camera. If you want to open your microphone or your camera, you can open it, right? The same way for Petra and Diana. Okay, so that is the past perfect. Here I have the homework. The homework was this. So here we have a little article, well, a little story. Petra has her microphone open. Hopefully, Vidal, Diana, you can open your microphones if possible. If possible, so you can help me reading. So, Petra, can you please help me reading? We're going to start reading from here, Petra, from
Okay.
last, right? And we are going to continue reading from last until uh, resume.
Okay.
Please, Petra.
Okay. Last Tuesday, Peter got ready for his
You were
interview with a
talking on the microphone.
yeah.
No, I cannot hear you. Let me see. Oh, I'm really sorry, Petra. My volume was mute. Can you speak? Can you read it, please?
Okay. Last Tuesday, Peter got ready for his interview with a company called CompuCom. He left class and went to the ATM to get cash, but he didn't have time to get back. He decided to get it early Wednesday morning. That night, he read over his cover letter and resumed.
Thank you, Petra. Okay, all of this that we see right here is in past. It's telling us about something that happened last Tuesday, right? So it happened last week, right? Thank you very much, Petra. Can you please, Diana, read from he left until got off?
Okay. He
He
felt
felt.
confident. Yeah. He always wrote good letters and he had a great resume with a nice photo. He had paid a professional to help him put it in together. Before going to bed, he got his things ready, his suit, shirt, and tie, his bed shoes. He set his alarm at 7 and went to sleep, but his alarm clock stopped in the middle of the night and didn't go off.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to practice the pronunciation of regular verbs in a little bit, but
Yeah,
the word resume, right? This is a
right.
French word. It's a French word, but the pronunciation is resume,
Okay,
and not resume.
okay.
And the pronunciation here is suit, the suit, right? The suite is the one at the hotel, but this one is the suit. Mhm.
Okay,
Okay, and the pronunciation of stop, we might say stopped. Mhm.
stop.
All
Okay.
right. Thank you very much, Petra. Sorry, Diana. Do you, Vidal, have your microphone? Can you, Vidal, help us finish the reading?
Can you hear me?
Excellent. Thank you,
Excellent.
Vidal.
Thank you, Vivek. Okay, Peter woke up at 8:30, but he left the house in 2 minutes flat. He didn't have enough gas to drive to Campocom, so he decided to take a taxi. Of course, they were all occupied. After 15 minutes, a taxi stopped. There was a woman in the back seat. She asked, "Do you want to ride to Campocom?" Peter didn't know her, but she obviously recognized him.
Thank you, Vidal.
Thank you,
Thank you
Vida.
very
Thank you
much.
very much.
Decided. That's the only mistake. Okay, very good. So the question say, why was Peter feeling confident? And the number one says he had written a good cover letter and a resume, right? Now, in the number two, we have why was the resume very strong, right? And right over here, we have this is Petra's answer. She says he had had a great resume with a nice photo. And this is Vidal's answer. He had written a good cover letter and a resume. Very good. That's very good. Both of the answers are very similar and they're actually okay. I would say I would add because the answer that comes in the book is a little different. So I would say that his resume was very strong because he had paid a professional to help him, right? He had paid a professional to help him. So is what Vidal has. He had paid a professional to help him, only here Vidal, to help him put the resume together. And that's the only thing that I would add, Petra. He had paid a professional to help him put the resume together. Okay, very good. In the number three, we have why did he sleep late on Wednesday morning? And we have Vidal. He had a problem with his alarm clock during the night. Good, good. And we have Petra. His alarm clock had stopped in the middle of the night. It's exactly the same. So perfect. Good job. The number four says, why was he able to leave home so quickly? Mhm. And we have here, he had taken care of all his outfit at night before going to bed. Good job. And we have here Petra. He had gotten his things ready. Excellent. Number five, we have why didn't he have enough gas to drive to the interview? And we have he had planned his activities so he did not waste time on ironing and choosing what to wear. I don't think that answers the question. But let's see here. He had decided to get it early Wednesday morning. Yes, this is the right answer. He had decided to get it early Wednesday morning. Yes. Then number six. Why did he have enough money for the taxi? He had not had time to get gas the night before because he was in a hurry. I guess, Vidal, this is the answer for number five, not number six. So he had not had time to get gas. Here's just some spelling mistakes the night before because he was in a hurry and worried to have everything ready for the interview. There's only some mistakes here. Get and gas with G. My G looks very awful. All right, good. Let's see. Petra, he had gone to an ATM. Excellent job, Petra. Number seven, had Peter met the woman before? Apparently, he had not met the lady before. Apparently, right? So he doesn't say anything, but it seems like she had seen him, right? It seems. No, he hadn't met her. Yes. He didn't know her, but she knew him. How do you think the woman recognized Peter? It is not clearly stated, but maybe she had seen him before at Compocom. I think, right? Or probably, I think also, let's see Petras, because Peter had been wearing the uniform. I don't think he has a uniform, Petra, because he's going to a job interview. I think that probably what Vidal says is really good. Like maybe she had seen him right when he went to leave his resume or something, or probably she was the human sources lady, right? And she had her resume, or she had the she had scheduled the interview with him, and she knows him, right? Because she knows about, she has a photo of him or something, right? So probably, we don't know. Excellent job, everyone. Very good use of the past perfect. Thank you very much, Petra, Vidal, Diana. You need to do your homeworks, okay? All right, let's get going. I told you the last class, Diana, Petra, that today I was going to tell you more about the pronunciation of the regular verbs. But before we start with the pronunciation of the regular verbs, I want to ask you, Vidal, do you know the rules for the pronunciation of the regular verbs in past? Last class we were talking about the regular verbs in past, and they didn't know. Oh, okay, perfect, Vidal. Then you're gonna help us. Well, first of all, let's write some regular verbs in past. Okay, yes, exactly. Well, more or less. Okay. Okay, some regular verbs in past. For example, we have the verb work, walk, talk, dance, stop, chat, meet, erase, mix, paste, study, stay, Wash, watch, listen, clean. Okay, very good. Vidal wrote here that the regular verbs in past have three different types of pronunciation, right? So we know that for the regular verbs in past, to all of them we add ed, but they have three different styles of pronunciation. We can either pronounce it with the sound at the end, we can either pronounce them with the sound at the end, or we can either pronounce it with the sound it at the end. Now, these are sounds. We know these are sounds because they are in between those two slashes, right? Those two slashes mean that these are not letters. These are phonemes, right? These are phonemic symbols, right? Now, the first one is not a T, it's a sound. And that sound is t, 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 right? We make that sound with our tongue behind our upper teeth, right? We put it there and we just blow air. T, 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 t. The following sound, the position of the mouth is exactly the same. The tongue is behind our upper teeth, but instead of blowing air, we use our vocal cords. To use our vocal cords, we make it vibrate. And we say something like zzz, zzz, zzz. That's the sound, zzz, right? The last one is a vowel sound, E, and the Z. When we put them together is it, it, it. So we have these three styles of pronunciation. So when do we use the T sound? Who knows? Who can help me? Nobody. No problem. We use the T sound when the verbs at the end, not at the beginning. Because at the beginning, the majority of the verbs have vowels, as you can see. And all vowels are voiced. But when at the end the verb is unvoiced, we add in past the t. What does unvoiced mean? Unvoiced means that it doesn't vibrate. For example, over there where you are, right, at home or wherever you're taking the class, I want you to take two fingers, right, and put them on your throat, right here, right? Okay, when you speak, you use your vocal cords and you can feel the vibration of your vocal cords. Okay? Now, I want you to pronounce the first word, the first verb. The first verb is work. Work.
Walk,
Work.
walk,
Very good. Pronounce it. At the beginning, you can feel the vibration. Work.
walk,
But at the end, the important thing is at the end.
walk,
Work. K.
walk,
The k.
walk,
K. Does it vibrate at the end? Can you feel vibrations at the end?
walk.
Work.
No,
K. No. Petra says no. What about you, Vidal? Diana? Can you feel any vibrations? No. Okay. Vidal, you can feel the vibration of the R and you can feel the vibration of the O, but you need to focus on the vibration of the last sound. In this case, the last sound is the
walk,
k, k.
walk,
If you isolate that sound, k, k,
walk.
k, it doesn't vibrate. It's different. For example, if you say it sounds, it has vibrations. Oh, It sounds with vibrations, but k doesn't. Okay? So since work, it's a unvoiced sound, the ending is unvoiced. In past, when we say it in past, we add a t sound. And instead of saying work it, what we say is worked. T, 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 worked. Mhm. Okay, I'm gonna give you more examples of unvoiced verbs. All of these verbs are unvoiced. We're gonna put them like this. We already said work. We have these four. Okay, look, put your fingers here and repeat them. Work, dance, wash, watch. They have vibrations at the beginning but not at the end. They are unvoiced. So when we say them in past, we say worked, danced, washed, watched. Mhm. That's the sound or that's the pronunciation that we use in past for these type of verbs. Mhm. Now, these are on voice, no vibration at the end. But some verbs have vibration at the end. When they have vibration at the end, they are called voiced. Mhm. Voiced verbs. For example, we have mhm, what other? Let me see. Look, put your fingers one more time and repeat. Love, leave, clean, stay. Even your whole mouth vibrates, not only your vocal cords, right? Different from the others. If you repeat them both columns, you will feel the difference more precisely. For example, work, dance, wash, watch. No vibration. Love, leave, clean, stay. Vibration. Mhm. All of these verbs that have vibration are called voiced. And then, since they are voiced, at the end, we need to add a z sound when we say them in past. Mhm. So, for example, if you say love in past, you add the z sound. And you say love, love, lived, clean, stayed. Mhm. One more time. Listen to the difference. Worked, danced, washed, watched. Mhm. T, t. The other. Loved, lived, cleaned, stayed. Mhm. Is different. One is t, the other z. Mhm. Okay, let's practice a little bit with these eight verbs. Petra, you have your microphone open. Okay. Now, this is what I want you to do, Petra. You're going to say the verb in present and past, right? For example, work, worked, dance, danced, wash, washed, watch, watched. Okay? All right, Petra, please.
Work, worked. Dance, danced. Wash, washed. Watched, watched.
In the last one, I couldn't see any difference. Listen again. Watch, watched.
What? Watched.
Okay, good. Now the boys ones. Love, loved. Leave, leaved. Clean, cleaned. Stay, stayed.
Love, loved. Live, lived. Clean, cleaned. Stay, stayed.
The sound. Okay,
Okay.
very good. What about you, Diana? Can you help us with this activity, please?
Um, work, works. Dance, dance. Dance.
Yes.
Watch, watched. Watch, watched.
Excellent. Now the other column.
Love, love.
No, listen, listen. You just need to add one sound, okay? And the sound is like dinosaur, Danny, I don't know, dog. Okay, so you might
Okay.
say love, love.
Love,
Yes. Next,
live. Yeah. And
yeah,
live.
leave.
Live and live. Yeah. Live.
Yeah, with the
Okay.
at the end. Hmm.
Clean and cleaned. Yeah.
Yeah,
Stay and stay.
stayed. Hmm.
Stayed.
The
Okay.
mhm,
Okay.
the sound. Okay. Thank you, Diana. Good job. What about Vidal?
Work, worked. Dance, danced. Wash, washed. Watch, watched. Love, loved. Leave, lived. Clean, cleaned. Stay, stayed.
Good job.
Good job.
Excellent.
Excellent.
So that's the way that we do it. Okay. Now, what about the it sound? Okay. In the case of the it sound, we use it when the verbs already finish in either the t sound or the th sound. So if they already finish in these sounds, then we use it. For example, we have chat already finishes with t. So when we say it in past, we say chatted. For example, paste, it finishes in an E when you write it. But when you say it, the last sound is t. So when you say it in past, you say pasted. And the same with need. When you say it in past, you say needed. Mhm. So if they finish in these sounds, then we use it. Do you see the difference? Okay, so we're gonna practice with these verbs right here. Okay, some of them I already helped you, some of them I didn't. Okay, so I want you to help me. In the case of walk, do you think should be with t, th, or it?
With. Worked.
Which sound? T, th, or it?
Walked.
It sounds.
Yes, it's with
Yes,
that
with that.
sound. The case of talk, you can write it if you don't want to be opening your microphone with that. You can write it.
With.
What sound do you think for talk?
T.
That t, th, or it? Petra says
Ah.
that. Yes, that's right, Vidal. Thank you very much. Is that sound? Okay. The case of dance, we already say is with. The case of stop.
Stop, 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 stopped.
Yes, it's the same. It's with stop. The last the is voiceless. Is on
Mm-hmm.
voice. On voice, voiceless mean the same. So
Mm-hmm.
we say that sound. Chat, we already said is with it. Need, we already say is with it.
With,
What about erase?
erase, with, no, erase, erase, erase.
What do you think, Petra?
Mm,
Yes,
it,
erase is with yes because it's erase. Mix
with, with the,
with D? No.
no,
Remember, is not a letter; it's a sound. But mix and erase is exactly the same. Same sound at the end, and is with
mm-hmm.
paste. We already said is with it. Mhm. Study.
Study, study, with, study,
Yes, it's with the sound. Stay. We already said it's with the sound. Wash. We already say it's with it. Sound. Watch.
with the
Sound.
sound,
Listen
listen, listen, with the, with,
is with the sound. Thank you, Petra. Clean is with the
with,
sound, and those are those. Okay, probably you are thinking, oh my goodness, this is too difficult. Okay, well, you can either uh, practice it, or you can either learn which sounds are voice and which sounds are on voice. This is the phonemic alphabet, the international phonemic alphabet. And in this phonemic alphabet, we can see which sounds are voice and which sounds are on voice. Mhm. So, for example, right here, we can see that the green sounds are on voice and the blue sounds are voiced. So, all of these sounds, if the verbs finish in the green sounds, they go with t. If the verbs finish with the blue sounds, they go with z.
mm,
Mhm. So what sounds are green? We have t, but in this case, the th when it doesn't make any sound. Mhm. We have ch, s, sh. Yes, of course, I can send you this. I will send it. I will send it to the WhatsApp. It's a picture. Mhm. And the blue sounds we have b, z, 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 g. This is j, z, j. And then wa, o, wa. Okay, sorry. This is ya and this is wa. They are confusing. If you want, I can send you to the WhatsApp too a link for a free app. This app is it's an app from the British Council, and an app, I have two apps: the app from British Council, the app from Macmillan. They are free, and in those you can see the phonemic alphabet, and you can click on it and listen to the sound. But well, this is just like really really short explanation. The important thing for me is that you don't make mistakes when you pronounce the verbs in past. That you don't say work it, walk it, talk it, dance it, stop it, chat it, need it. but that you use the right pronunciation. Worked, walked, talked, danced, stopped, chatted, kneaded, raced, mixed, pasted, studied, stayed, washed, washed, listened, cleaned. Mhm. So this right now, I'm going to download it and I'm going to share it to you on WhatsApp too. And for homework, you are going to send me an audio pronouncing these verbs right here. That's going to be for homework. Mhm. Okay, very good. Well, this, as I said, this was just a very short explanation about pronunciation of the verbs. How do you like it? Everything okay? You got it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got it.
I hear you very far, Petro.
Really?
No. Yes, thank you, Vidal. Thank you, Diana. Good job. Well, you are the one who worries me the most. Hopefully, you can practice it more, Diana. It's important, okay? So you don't make those type of pronunciation mistakes. Okay, we'll see this really quickly. Sometime expressions with the past perfect. It's a very easy activity before we move to one writing activity I have planned for you today. So sometime expressions for the past perfect. You can use the following time expressions with the past perfect. Mhm. We have here some time expressions. Can you please, Petra, you that you have your microphone open, read the first line that is right here?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You can use the following time expressions with the past perfect. Already, still, yet. By the time I got to the restaurant, most people had already eaten. When I left for class, I still hadn't completed my assignment. So I finished I finished it
Finished.
finished it on the bus. My best friend hadn't arrived yet, but I couldn't wait any longer, so I went home.
Thank you very much. Okay, already, still, and yet are very important words, right? We don't use them the way we use them in Spanish, right? For example, look at already. The position of the time expression is key to have a good structure in the sentences. In the case of already, where in the sentence do you use already? Where? Look at the example.
After the verb have or after
After the
the
auxiliary.
auxiliary. Hmm.
Mhm. It is in between the auxiliary
And the
and
verb.
the verb. So this is very important. Already goes in between the auxiliary and the
And the
verb.
verb.
In Spanish, we say ya habían comido, right? So we say it beforehand. But in English, no. We say it in between the auxiliary and the verb. Mhm.
Hmm.
Okay? So this happens not only in past perfect, but also in present perfect. Mhm.
Okay.
Look at still. Where in the sentence do we use still? Thank you, Vidal. Yeah, Vidal says that is in between the auxiliary and the subject. So you have the subject, and in between the subject and the auxiliary, you use still. Mhm. I still hadn't completed my assignment. Mhm. I still hadn't finished. I still haven't eaten. Mhm. Still has a similar meaning as yet. Look at yet. Where in the sentence do you use yet?
At the end.
at the end. You use it at the end. In this case, you use it after the verb, right? So
Mhm.
you have my best friend hadn't arrived yet.
Yep.
If you have a compliment, you use it after the compliment. My mom hadn't gotten home yet. Uh-huh. So yet is a word that we mainly use it at the end of the sentence. So all of these three words have a different position in the sentence. These time expressions have a different position, and it's important to use them properly, right? Now, the case of yet. Listen to this question. Can you use yet in an affirmative sentence?
No.
No? Sure?
Mm, no, because in affirmative sentence we use already.
Exactly. We don't use yet for affirmative sentences. We use yet for questions or for negative sentences, right? But we don't use it for affirmative sentence. We can either use still or already. Still and already have a similar meaning than yet. Can you use still in negative, sorry, in affirmative and questions?
Mm,
Can you
no.
use still in affirmative and questions?
Affirmative. No.
Yes or no?
No.
No. Petra says no. Diana is very quiet today. What do you say, Vidal? Affirmative and questions. Still. Yes. You can use it for affirmative sentences, right? You can say, I'm still here. I'm still working, right?
Mm,
Right?
okay.
In questions, you can use it, but it's not very common. It's not very natural. Instead of using still, you would use yet. Mhm. Yeah, do you still work there? Yes, I still work here. Yes, right? Now, and already, well, already has no problem in affirmative, no problem in negative. Sorry, can you hear me? Yes? Oh, yeah, perfect. But can you use already in questions? Yes, you can use it too, right? So you have restrictions to use yet only, but to use the others, you don't have any restrictions. We have other time expressions, for example, until after. In this case, you can say until after or not until after. For example, I didn't find my watch until after I bought a new one. We have also by the time. I was exhausted by the time I'd finished cleaning the house. Never before. She was a great teacher. I learned things I had never understood before. Early, previously, years ago, I got a stomachache from something I'd eaten earlier. It was a problem I'd had previously, so I knew what caused it. I knew exactly what to do because I'd seen a doctor about it years ago. So all of these are time expressions that we can use with the past perfect. We have here one activity. It's a very easy activity. You won't have any troubles with this. We're gonna do it together. The number one and the number two, you're gonna do it. Sorry, the number five, number one to four together, five to eight by yourself. We have the number one. Last summer, I took a vacation in Australia. I didn't know much about the country because I. How can you complete this sentence? Here you have some time expressions that you can use by the time, earlier, never before, or until after.
Never before.
Never before. Excellent. So we say I'd never been there before. But I was really excited about the trip. Then number two, a month before I left, things started to go wrong. I lost my camera and I didn't find it
Until after?
until after. Yes. I didn't find it until after I bought a new one. Good. I finally found my old camera in my suitcase. I put it there
Earlier?
earlier.
Earlier.
Yes. Good job. Earlier. So I wouldn't forget it. And the number four, the week before the trip, my boss gave me an urgent project to complete. I was exhausted
By the
By the
time?
time.
by the time. Thank you. Yeah, by the time. Okay. Now, here we have from number five to number eight. In this case, I don't want you to tell me. I want you to write it on the chat. I want you to do it by yourself. You're going to write number five and the answer. Then comma number six, the answer. Comma number seven, the answer. Comma number eight, the answer. All together, Petra. Not one by one, not all together, please. Do all of them and then you send it.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No problem, no problem. Thank you, Vidal. Exactly like that. Thank you, Petra. Diana, I guess Diana went to the bathroom or something. Okay, excellent job. Yes, those are the answers. We say the day I left, I felt stressed because I still hadn't packed my suitcase. A friend of mine drove me to the airport. He'd driven there a few times previously. By the time I got to the gate, most of the passengers had already boarded. Luckily, they hadn't closed the gate yet. Excellent job. Okay, very good. With this, we finish the past perfect uh, topic. Okay, and now we are going to continue with a writing activity. I received your writing, Petra. It is awesome. I'm going to send you now the corrections. Okay, and I will explain you, Diana and Vidal, at the end of the class about the homework, which is a writing that Petra already did because she came to class since Monday, but that you have to do for the next week. Well, for this weekend, so you can turn it in during this weekend or next week. So in writings, sometimes this structure, the past perfect, we know it, right? We know it. We know how to use it. We know the grammar, we know the structure, but the difference between a person, a candidate who gets B1 level, a person who gets B2 level, and a person who gets C1 level in the exam is that the person with C1 level uses advanced grammar for his speaking and writing. Sometimes we know it, but we don't use it. If you know it, but you don't use it in your writing and you don't use it in your speaking, then you will keep on being B1 level or B2 level, right? With very basic grammar, you would be B1 level, right? If you want to jump to B2 and C1, you need to use these type of structures either in your speaking and your writing. That's the only way that you can get better results in the standardized examination. And this is for any examination. It's not only for the Cenni, it's not only for the TOEFL IBT, it's for any examination. The examiners, the people who checks the exams, check that, take that into account. Probably you don't have any grammar mistakes. Probably your vocabulary is awesome. Probably you have no spelling mistakes and the message is well developed. But they're not going to give you a good level, a C1 level, a B2 level if you don't use advanced grammar. So this type of structures, this type of words, you need to put them in your writing and you need to use them in your speaking. Okay. Besides that, another thing that is also important is the use of connectors. Okay, so today we're going to talk about some connectors, some speech makers, some cohesive devices, some linking words, some conjunctions. So all of them are synonyms of the same words, conjunctions. And to begin with, I want to show you one article. So this article talks about digital dirt, an online footprint. Do you guys understand the word footprint? Yeah, right? And what do you think it's an online footprint? So footprint is when you leave your footprint on the sand where you're working, or when your shoes are dirty, you enter to the house and you leave footprints on the ground, on the floor. The web pages you check, the pages you check, they can be. What else? So it's practically everything you do online, right? The pages you check, the pictures you upload, the posts you tag, the posts you share, the places you visit and you tag. Everything that you do online is an online footprint. But sometimes, especially when we are very young, right? Like young people, teenagers right now, sometimes they share things or we share things that are not very professional. Not? For example, how many profiles do you have on Facebook? In only one. Diana has only one. Do you share your Facebook with your students or your coworkers? No. So Vidal also. Okay. Well, we said like how many profiles on Facebook, but in this case, if you don't share, why, why? Talking about the Facebook, Vidal. If you don't share your Facebook with your students, why don't you do it? Why not? Why don't you do that, Diana? of Petra. I don't know, Petra, you didn't say anything. Do you have one profile on Facebook?
Yeah.
You don't like it. Do you share it, Petra, with your students?
No, I don't like to share my information or something about me with my students.
Okay. Imagine that you would share it, Petra, Diana. Because Vidal says that he does it. Like he has no problem. He shares his Facebook with his students and coworkers, and he has no problem. Imagine that you do share it with your students and and your coworkers. Is there anything in your Facebook that you wouldn't like your students or your coworkers to see?
Maybe with my coworkers, but with my students, I don't share anything because something my
But
coworkers
do you?
send
Uh-huh.
sometimes my coworkers or friends send me uh, any information that I wouldn't like that my students see them.
All right, all right. So sometimes we have information, right? Or we post, right? You almost never share personal things with that. Okay, but sometimes people do, right? People do share personal stuff, right? And probably you post a picture, not drinking at a party,
Yeah.
right? And you would not like your students to see that picture, right?
No.
Neither your boss, for example,
Yeah.
right? So all of that you wouldn't like the people to see, it's called digital dirt. Mhm. The digital dirt is all of that stuff that you wouldn't like the people to see, right? The memes.
Mm,
Yeah, right.
okay.
Probably you post a meme, right, that is very funny, but that is not very professional, right? Or political articles, right? Against education or things like that. Or right now that you are at home, not that you post like, oh, I love this way, right? Being at home is the best. I don't want to see my students, right? And your students see it like, what? No, the teacher. So all of that you wouldn't like the people to see is called digital dirt. So we have here an article. hmm Listen up. For this article, we're going to do some scanning. Mhm. Do you know scanning? Do you know that word? Do you know that strategy? Yes. So the strategy is not to read. I don't need you to read everything word by word. I'm going to tell you one question. And you need to look for the answer quickly. Mhm. You need to go over the test very quickly, check very quickly, try to identify keywords. And when you identify the keywords, you read only that little line and you tell me the answer. Mhm. Okay? All right. So let's see this right here. Okay, listen up. This is the first question. Let me make it a little bit smaller. There you go. The first question is, who conducted a survey for recruiters, for job recruiters? I repeat, who conducted a survey for job recruiters?
Excuse net.
Executed.
Execute net.
Excellent, Diana. Good
Yes.
job. Very good. That is what you have to do. You just need to go really quickly and find it. Okay? So it is executed right
Execute.
here.
Okay.
Mhm. Excellent job. Mhm. All right. One more time, okay? Another question. The question is, what did the administrators accuse Miss S of? What did the administrators accuse Miss S of?
Mm, the photo? Viewing the photo?
No.
And accuses
What
her
did they accuse her of?
of promoting on the underage drinking?
Yes, they accuse her of promoting
Mhm.
underage drinking. Good job, Diana. Good job. Hey, Petra, like, what happened? They accuse her of promoting underage drinking. Okay? All right. Let's go. Listen to the next. According to the article, what should you promote on your blogs?
Mm, something else.
According to the article, what should you promote on your blogs? Mhm. Okay, but what should you promote? But what should you promote? You're telling me other answers, but you're not telling me what should you promote. They say they should look at this. Use your blog or website to promote your work, research, and interests. That's what you should promote. Okay, next one. Listen up. According to the survey that executed made, what percentage of candidates would be rejected?
83?
No,
No.
no, no, it's not the 50. No, it's not 83.
Can you repeat, please?
According to the article, what percentage of candidates would be rejected? According to the survey conducted by Execunet. It's not 83 and it is not 50. You need to understand. Read it and understand what it says. You need to deduce it. So, yes, very good. It's like the 41.5%, right? Because it says that they conducted a survey, and in the survey, executed reported that 83% of your recruiters regularly use internet searches to find more about their candidate. And nearly half, but nearly half of what?
of
Half of the
83.
83.
83.
So if it is the half of the 83 is 41.5, right? Said that they will reject candidates based on digital dirt they find. The last question. What should you do to your friends that are always posting off-color jokes or rude comments, according to the articles? Sorry?
Block there.
Block them? Block
Yeah,
your
the
friend?
comment. The comment.
Ah, yes, you should block their comments. Could you repeat? I had to answer. Ah, the question was, what should you do to your friends that are always posting off color jokes and rude comments? And Diana says, we need to block their comments. Excellent job, everyone. Well, taking advantage that Diana has her microphone open, Diana, can you help us, please? We finished with the questions. We're gonna read it very quickly. Diana, can you please read the first paragraph? From when to content?
Okay. One student teacher, Mrs. S, posted a photo from a party on the wall of her social networking site. She had no idea of the consequences. Just weeks, just weeks away from obtaining a teaching degree, Mrs. S diploma, yes, diploma,
Yes.
was withheld after school administration viewed. How can I pronounce that word?
Viewed.
View? Okay. The photo and accused her of promoting underage drinking. A charge that she denied. Her case is not an insult,
Isolated.
isolated one. Oh my God. Is
Increasingly,
increasingly employees are being fired from their jobs and students are having their college applications rejected
rejected. Mhm.
rejected because of the digital dirt or inappropriate only online con that content. Yeah,
Content.
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 Sorry.
No problem, Diana. Thank you very much. Do all of you guys understand the word withheld?
No.
No? Yeah, thank you, Vida.
Okay.
Yeah, they kept it, right? They didn't give it to her, right? So usually we say that you hold a diploma. When you hold a diploma, is because you have a diploma. They give it to you. But the opposite of hold is withheld, right? That in this case is they keep the diploma. They don't give it to you, right?
Okay.
Excellent. Now we have here withheld, of course, is in past. The present is withhold. Petra, can you help us with the second paragraph, starting here this and following at fine?
Okay. These cases highlight the need to be careful about the type of content you post online. Each time you post a photo or comment or write a profile online, you create an image or online footprint of yourself that is difficult to erase. If you think your friends are the only ones checking your profile, think again. It's increasingly common for college and employers to look closely at the online pictures and profiles of actual and prospective students and employees. A survey conducted by ExecuteNet reported that 83% of job recruit- recruiters regularly use internet searches to find out more about candidates. Nearly half said they will reject candidates based on the digital dirt they find.
Thank you very much, Petra. Okay, only an observation here. We don't say comment. We only say comment.
Comment.
Yeah, you sometimes have the problem with the stress, right?
Okay.
The stress. So the stress is not comment at the end, but it's at the beginning. Comment,
Comment.
right? Recruiters, it's okay. Mhm. All right. Can you be there help us from how to comments here?
How can you still have fun online without making a bad impression on future college admission offices and employers? Here are 5 basic steps you can follow. 1. Check what's online already. Type your name onto several search engines to see your digital footprint. Then check all your privacy settings and remove anything you don't want others to see. If you have friends who are always posting off color jokes or rude comments about you on your wall, then block their comments.
Thank you very much, Vidal. All right. Avoid writing anything you might regret later. Don't badmouth. Well, sorry. For this, do you all understand off-color jokes? Hmm. Yeah, of color jokes. Yes, colors that probably, jokes that probably are racist, right? Or jokes that probably speak bad about women, right? Yes, sometimes they are funny, but the thing is that they are off color because they are not about topics that are mm, politically accepted. You know, they are topics that we can say are very touchy topics, like talking about religion, or things like that. Okay, let's continue. Avoid writing anything you might regret later. Don't badmouth a current or previous employer online. The same applies to teachers, professors, classmates, or coworkers. In this paragraph, we have badmouth. Do you understand badmouth? It's not appropriate. Yes, yes, Petra. Bad mouth. It's when you speak bad, right? When you say bad things about other people, then you say you bad mouth. Create a positive online image. The internet is the perfect place to showcase your talents and skills. Use a blog or website to promote your work, research, and interest. Use a professional email address. An employer or a college admission officer is more likely to contact nsmith at cup.com than smoothiefan at cup.com. Join online groups selectively. Instead of joining groups and campaigns with names like Sleeping in Class, connect to a professional organization. When it comes time to apply for a job or place in college, you'll be glad you did. Okay, so what do you think about this, guys? Do you agree or disagree with the fact that employers check your online profile in order to hire you? Do you agree or disagree? Do you think it's a good idea that your employers check your online profile or not? It goes against your constitutional rights? What do you mean, Vidal? Why does it go against your constitutional rights? Yeah, but they are not telling you no to post it. I mean, it's just that they check it, right? That they check it and in order to get more information about you and see if you're a good candidate for their companies. It's not that they don't tell you, oh no, you shouldn't post it. I mean, you can post whatever you want. It's just that is it okay that they check it in order to hire you? Petra says, because we are free to post everything we want. Yeah, you are free. I'm not saying, or it's not implied that you shouldn't post it. The thing here is that is it okay that employers consider what you post in order to hire you or not? It's not okay. Well, Petra says no, they shouldn't check it. Yeah, it's not about that you shouldn't post things. I mean, you can post anything you want. The question is it okay that employers check it and based on that they decide to hire you or not? Petra says no, it should not be it should not be considered. So Vidal says no, you shouldn't consider it. Diana says no. So all of you disagree. You don't think that's a fair technique, but it happens. Well, a little while ago, like 6 years ago, I used to work for a company. Uh, I used to work for Harmon Hall, and I was working at Harmon Hall at the main office. And yes, they used to do that. They used to check the online profile of the people. I was director of one school, and sometimes I would receive the resumes of new teachers and I would send them to human sources offices at Mexico City. And I would interview the teachers. And I remember I interviewed one of the teachers, and the teacher had a very good level. And the teacher was really good also. He had very good strategies for the classroom. But then in human sources, We were about to hire that teacher, and then in human sources they called me and they told me, no, we cannot hire that person. And I say, why not? And they say, we cannot hire him. Tell him that thank you very much, that but we are not going to be working with him at the moment. And then I didn't know, what happened. So I contacted one of my friends at Mexico City, and this person told me that because on his Facebook, they discover that, you know he has a lot of pictures of him drinking and pictures of him at bars and things like that, and that's why they didn't want to hire him. So it happens, it does happen in Mexico. Vidal says, I know it happens more than we think. Yes, it happens more often than we think, and I think it's happening not only in the big companies. It happens also in the small companies, right? It happens. All right, let's do the following activity. Well, that is, well, finish your sentences. It happens. Yes, it does. We can have a picture of someone by what we see on the web, but it is only tiny aspect. Yes, yes, the same way, right? You can have an idea of how the person is at work, and outside he is a different person, and it usually happens to us, right? When you are at work, when you are with your coworkers, when you are inside the classroom with your students, you try to behave very formal, very professional. You try to do your best. But when you are outside with your friends, probably you are different, right? You are more relaxed, right? Because you are in your comfort zone, and you can probably say bad words that you don't say when you are in the classroom. Probably you probably, I don't know, play or fool around with your friends, and you don't do it with your coworkers. Things like that happen all the time, right? We are uh, inside and outside work different people, and as Vidal says, right, what you see is just a teeny aspect, right, online, because a picture can be like you can interpret a picture in different ways. I mean, different people can interpret pictures in different ways. Probably I can see it and I can say, oh, that guy is having fun. But other people can say, oh my goodness, that guy is always drunk or something like that, right? Okay. For example, I had another experience with a friend, and this friend had tattoos, here. Mhm. And he would always wear long sleeves, but he entered a job here in Acapulco. It was a very prestigious school. I guess the most prestigious school here in Acapulco. He's an excellent teacher. He has a master's degree and a C1 level in English, so he's a great teacher. And they hire him, but when he was already working, one day he was wearing the uniform, and the uniform was not long sleeves, and they saw his tattoo, and they told him, "Oh, you didn't tell us you had that tattoo, right? You didn't tell us that." So they fire him because of the tattoo, right? So imagine that you always wear long sleeves and they don't see it, but then on your Facebook you have the picture of your tattoo and someone see it and they fire you, right? Because they see it on the Facebook, right? Yes. You should not show them at work. Yes, you should not. Okay, very good. Let's get going. Alright, let's do this activity. Okay, making judgments. Okay, we're going to, as I told you, we're going to do some writing activity. Probably we won't have time to finish it right now, but if not, we're going to finish it for homework. So, in this lesson, we're going to plan an argument, contrast ideas, and avoid errors with whereas. Writing script for an online debate. Should employer judge applicants by their online profiles? Read the question above, write 2 reasons to answer yes, and 3 reasons to answer no. I know all of you disagree. All of you told me no, that's not good idea. But we need to think about 3 reasons for yes and 3 reasons for no. Okay? In order to get more ideas, we are going to read this little article right here. Okay? Okay, first of all, I'm going to read the article. Mhm. I want you to read the article with me in silence, there where you are. And I want you in the chat, right, to write the expressions that you can see in the article, expressions that you can see in the article that we use to contrast ideas. For example, we have here, however, and on the one hand. Those are 2 expressions that we use to contrast ideas. Okay? So there are 3 more expressions. Okay? So I'm going to read it. I want you to read it in silence too, and I want you to find the expressions. Okay? Let's read it. It says, many employers check the internet for information about job applicants. However, this is not a fair way to judge a person. On the one hand, employers need people who will fit into the company. An online profile gives information that employers will not see on a resume. Mhm. For example, if the person is aggressive or has extreme views. On the other hand, an online profile is for friends, whereas a resume is for employers. A resume provides the most relevant details about qualifications and work experience. An online profile may contain information that employers should not use to judge an applicant, such as age or religion. In conclusion, while there are good reasons to check an applicant's online profile, it's not a professional document. For this reason, it is not fair, in my opinion, to judge candidates by their personal online profile. Mhm. So, what are the other 3 expressions that we use to contrast ideas? Okay, good job. We have on the other hand, for this reason, in conclusion. No, in conclusion is not to contrast ideas. You are summarizing. When you say in conclusion, it is a connector for summarizing. For this reason, you are, as the same phrase says, you are giving a reason. You are not contrasting. In my opinion, so you are giving a reason. So, on the other hand, yes. In conclusion, for this reason, no. On the other hand, yes. For this reason, is not a connector of contrast. We need to look for connectors or conjunctions that are being used to contrast ideas. To contrast. What does contrast mean? Contrast means that you say something good and then you compare it to something bad. For example, many employers check the internet for information about job applicants. However, this is not fair. So they contrast 2 ideas. They say many people do it, but it's not fair, right? On the one hand, employers need people who will fit in the company. On the other hand, online profile is for friends. So you have 2 ideas and you contrast one with the other. You compare them one with the other. For this reason, no. Whereas, yes, whereas is a connector of contrast. So we have one, Two. We are missing another one. Mhm. Whereas it says, on the other hand, an online profile is for friends, whereas a resume is for employers. Mhm. So here is contrasting, right? That an online profile is for friends and the resume is for employers. You're missing another one. You have, on the other hand, you have whereas, we're missing one. Which one are we missing? Yes, Petra, good job. While there are good reasons to check an applicant's online profile, it's not a professional document. Excellent. So we have here three connectors of contrast. Well, we have these three, which are on the other hand, whereas, while. And we have here on the one hand and however. So here we have five connectors. However, on the one hand, on the other hand, whereas, while. Okay, perfect. Okay, now we're going to write some advantages and some disadvantages about checking the online profile. Some reasons why this is good and some reasons why this is a bad practice. Okay? For example, I'm going to say one advantage. Okay? Each of you, okay, Petra, Diana, Vidal, you need to tell me one advantage. And each of you need to tell me one disadvantage. They need to be different, okay? Think about it, okay? We're going to write it, okay? I'm going to write the first one. An advantage for using the online profile is that the company can get to know the applicants more deeply. Mhm, mhm. A disadvantage is that the companies can mm, discriminate people for what they see online. So I think that an advantage is that company can get to know applicants more deeply. They can, uh, know their personality in depth. Sometimes in an interview, you don't happen to know the personality of the person. You just happen to meet the person only by 15 minutes. But if you check the online profile, you can have a better idea of their likes, dislikes, personality, etc. A disadvantage is that this information can be used by some companies to discriminate people. Mhm, mhm. Now, each of you need to tell me an advantage and a disadvantage. Mhm. Uh-huh. The employer can see if the candidates belong to string organizations. Yes, that's a good advantage. I'm going to write your advantage in red. Okay? Vidal is color red. See if the stream organization. All right. The company invades intimacy of the curious by judging him here some random pictures and their own paradigms. Hmm. Okay. All right, thank you very much. So we have here Petra says the company can use the information to know other abilities. Excellent. Well, that's a good advantage. All right. Yours is going to be green. Information to know other abilities. Okay. And a disadvantage. Are you there, Diana? Are you writing your advantages and disadvantages? Probably she's somewhere there. Petra. Okay. The company can judge candidates in a bad way because of pictures and information are not good. Mm, I guess I understand your idea. Let me see if I can correct it. The company can judge the candidates in a bad way because pictures and information because the pictures and informations are not appropriate. We're gonna write not appropriate instead of not good, okay? Bad way. Pictures. Pictures and information. Information is singular. The pictures and the information are not appropriate. Okay, good. Do not seem appropriate for employers. Yes, they do not seem appropriate for the employers. Okay. All right, perfect. Now let's look at the following chart. The following chart says, read the grammar chart and user ideas, the ideas we just did here, to make some sentences. Okay, we have contrast ideas in writing. Look at the use of the connectors. It is very important the punctuation, right? The punctuation. Um, the majority of the writings I happen to check have problems with the punctuation, the use of the commas, the periods. They don't have the words in the correct place. Sometimes we write in English the way we write in Spanish, right? But in English we have different punctuation rules. So let's look at this punctuation here. It says, on the one hand, employers need workers who will fit into the company. On the other hand, an online profile is for friends. Now, look at here. We have two ideas. When we contrast information, is we have one positive and one negative, right? One that agrees and one that disagrees, right? So here, on the one hand and on the other hand, both of them are at the beginning of one of these ideas, right? Look at the punctuation. You start the idea with on the one hand goes at the beginning, and what can you see after on the one hand?
A comma.
What? The comma. Yes. So you have on the one hand, and then you have
The
comma.
comma.
Employers need workers who will fit into the company. Period. When you use on the one hand, you finish the idea. It is one complete idea and you finish it with the period. You have on the one hand the idea, period. Mhm. The same happens with on the other hand. On the other hand, comma, the idea, period. Right? You don't have the two sentences linked by the comma. No, you have them divided by a period. You say, on the one hand, I like pizza. For example, on the one hand, comma, I like pizza. Period. On the other hand, I'm gaining weight. Period. All right. On the one hand, I like online classes. Period. On the other hand, comma, I spend a lot of time in front of the computer. Period. Okay. So you finish the ideas. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Look at the following one. The following one is however. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Can
Hi.
you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay. I was saying about however. However, we have the first idea complete, and then we finish it with a period. A resume is for employers, period. And then on the second idea, we start with however, we have the connector, and after however, we have the comma, right? A resume is for employers, period. However, comma, an online profile is for friends. Mhm. A resume is for employers. You finish the idea, period. You start the idea, however, it goes at the beginning, right? It doesn't go at the end. It goes at the beginning. However, comma, and only profile is for friends. At the beginning of the second sentence, you cannot have these two ideas divided by a comma. You need to have the first idea, period, however, comma, the second idea, period. Okay, the punctuation is important. Okay, for example, um, I like spending time at home, period. However, comma, I miss going to work every day. Okay. You can say, I enjoy uh, doing exercise. Period. However, uh, comma, it is very hot here. I sweat a lot. Period. Okay. All right. Look at the next one. On the next one, we have three connectors. While, whereas, but. These are different than however on the one hand and on the other hand. Because for these three, we are using them at the middle of one complete idea. Okay, the two ideas are joined only by the connectors. You don't have two sentences. You have one sentence with the two ideas linked by the connectors and the comma. Look, a resume is for employers, comma, not period. In however you had the period, but here you only have the comma, and then you have while, whereas, but an online profile is for friends. So here you don't need to finish the idea with a period. You just finish it with a comma. Then you started the second idea with a connector. You don't need a comma after while, whereas, and but. You don't need it. You need it after on the one hand, on the other hand, and however, but not after while, whereas, and but. Now, whereas and but are usually at the middle of the sentence, while can be either at the middle or either at the beginning as however. Mhm. Look at while. While there are reasons to check an online profile, comma, it is not fair to do this. Mhm. In the case of however, however needs the comma. It needs that you separate the two sentences with periods. In the case of while doesn't need the comma, and you separate the two sentences with a comma, not with a period. You check the punctuation?
Yeah.
The punctuation is the important thing here.
Mhm.
Okay?
Okay.
Writing versus conversation. Mhm. Whereas is way more common when we write, not when we speak. When we speak, we can use it when we speak, but it's way more common that we use it when we write. Mhm. Okay? Whereas and however are synonyms. Mhm. They have the same meaning. And in this case, however, the same way is way more common in writing. It's more common than whereas in speaking, but it's also way more common in writing. Mhm. But you use it also. Mhm. Okay. All right. So let's use our sentences, mhm, with these connectors. Let's say our sentences with these connectors. Okay. I'm going to tell you one connector, and you're going to put your sentences together using that connector. Mhm. For example, I have the company can get to know the applicants more deeply. The companies can discriminate people for what they see online. So, oh my goodness, we are not going to have time. We're going to do it for homework, but I'm going to give you the example. So, for example, I can say, if I use on the other hand, on the one hand, I can say, on the one hand, comma, the companies can get to know the applicants more deeply, period. On the other hand, comma, uh, applicants can be discriminated by people, sorry, applicants can be discriminated by what recruiters see online, period. Mhm. I can do it with however. The company can get to know the applicants more deeply, period. However, comma, the same companies can discriminate people for what they see online, period. You can use whereas. The company can get to know applicants more deeply, comma, whereas employees can be, applicants can be discriminated for what the recruiters see online, period. Mhm. All right. So I want you to use those connectors, and make the sentences, okay, with those connectors. Using those connectors, join these ideas. Okay, I'm gonna send you these sentences on WhatsApp. So you can do the homework. Okay, for homework, we're gonna do it for homework because we don't have enough time right now because I'm gonna give you another homework. Okay,
Okay.
so far so good.
So far, so good.
Problems, doubts about the homework? No, everything is okay. Petra, yes, no problems. Excellent. Petra, you have no extra homework besides this because you already did it. But for Vidal and Diana, you will have an extra homework. Mhm. Let me show you the extra homework. The extra homework is a writing task. This writing task is very, very, very important because this is the one that we are going to use for your examination. I mean, in order to get your certificate. Okay, so you're going to do it. You're going to try to do it the best you can. Then you're going to send it to me. I need you to do it on a Word document. Okay, and I need you to send it to me the Word file. Okay, I'm going to give you my email, so you can send it to me. And this is the task. It says, we're going to pay attention from here, time and instructions. This here, from here, these over here are the instructions for the day of the exam. And here is your homework. Writing assignment. This is the homework, the writing assignment. A concerned parent comes to you for advice. He tells you that his 16-year-old daughter might be texting too much. He says that in the past week she has sent about 3,000 text messages. He also tells you that her school grades have dropped and she has been experiencing sleep problems. Write an essay explaining your thoughts about the situation. Do you think the parent has a good reason to be worried? What would you suggest the parent should do first? Why? What are the steps should the parent take to help his daughter? Okay? So I need you to write it. I need you to write 250 words. Okay? You need to write at least 250 words. Okay? You need to write an essay. It's not a letter. So what does it mean? It means that the essay has three different parts. You need to start with an introduction, then you have the body of the essay, and then you have the conclusion. Okay? In this essay, you need to answer the questions that are right here. Do you think the parent has a good reason? What would you suggest? Why? What other steps should the parent follow? Okay? Uh, and I need you to do it in Word and send it to my email. My email is the next. I'm gonna write it also on WhatsApp. Don't worry. So, and if possible, that you do it for Monday would be awesome. I will check it. I would give it back to you with some observations, and you have to correct it and send it to me again. That's why it's important that you do it on work, so it's easier for you to edit it. Okay? Doubts or questions about the homework? So Vidal and well, Petra, you will have homework about correcting the essay because you already sent it to me, but I have already make my observations and I'm gonna send back to you. So you have to correct it. Vidal will have to do it from the scratch. The same with Diana. And besides that, you need to do the sentences here. Okay, so you have those two homeworks. Okay, doubts, questions about the homework? Nope. Excellent. Perfect, everyone. Well, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy it. Do your homework. Stay home. Be safe. And I'll see you on Monday. I'll send you the video of this class and class on Monday for Vida. Okay? Thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Bye, Petra. Bye, Diana. Oh, Diana is here. Goodbye, Diana.